Look at these young people joining us from all across the planet. My goodness, Giovanna and friends, we have quite the list of people here.
Wow,
Quite
Terry, I'm so excited. This is going to be the best Global
as
Dignity
we
Day ever.
excellent. And Olivia, how are things looking over on their side as the videos are slowly turning on and young people are joining us?
Yes, I'm starting to see lots of smiling faces, excited to celebrate Global Dignity Day.
So brilliant. All right, friends, this is what we would like you to do. We would like you to go back in and we'd like you to name yourself. So, where you have your name, if you can highlight who you are and then where you are in the world, right? So, if you click on participants, you're going to see I'm going to do it right now with myself. I'm going to rename it. It's going to say, Terry, I am joining you in St. Albert in Canada. And so you'll see that my name is then displayed. So I can see the country and I can see where you're joining us from. If you're able to do that, John just did the same. He's joining us from Ontario. Whoa, just a second. Tara, did you write here that you were in Delhi in India?
That's right, Terry. That's right.
Oh,
Beaming in all the way from Delhi.
oh, that is so exciting. That is great. I wonder what other countries we have here as well today. Cassandra's joining us from the United States. Welcome, Cassandra. Great to have you here. Thank you for changing that name. That's it. Oh, Colombia, Gimnasio Los Cabos. Welcome, Colombia. Great to have you here. And we have Jenna, who is joining us also from Edmonton in Canada. So that's great. And we have now Mr. Spanialski. I don't know if I did much justice to your name, but Mr. Spanialski, it's great to have you here. Look, we also have some Tango and Bauti joining us from Argentina. Friends, it looks like we have the world here to celebrate. The globe is here to celebrate Global Dignity Day. Wonderful to have you all here. Now, Giovanna, I understand you are also not necessarily joining us from your traditional, from the lands that you normally hail from. Is that correct?
That's right. So I am far away from where I normally live in Ottawa, Ontario. So that's where I live. Today I'm in Dharamshala, India. And I'm here because we're launching a global love revolution. Yes, that is actually happening as part of Global Dignity Week. And we're meeting His Holiness the Dalai Lama tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. because this is where he lives.
That is amazing. Well, we just had our friends who joined not very far from you as far as Canada is concerned, but our friends from Dubai have just joined. I think we are ready to get started. We'll probably have some other friends join us here over the next few minutes, but we're ready to get going. So Olivia and Giovanna, over to you.
Perfect. Welcome, everyone, and happy Global Dignity Day. I'm Olivia Bechtel, and I'm the Executive Director of Global Dignity Canada. And I just wanted to get us all a little pumped up before we kick off the real celebration. This year's Global Dignity event is truly global. As Terry was just saying, we have people from all over this beautiful earth, and we're getting ready to connect with students in 11 countries. Beyond, there are many others watching the live stream, tuning in right now from all over the world as well. In a few moments, our international celebration will begin, and our Canadian chair and Global Dignity's chair of the International Board of Directors, Giovanna Mangarelli, will welcome you and all the other participating students and wish you a happy Global Dignity Day. When she says this, I want you to cheer as loud as you can in your homes or classrooms, or give a big happy Global Dignity Day. So let's do a quick practice. I'm going to count to 3. And then when I say happy Global Dignity Day, I want you all to cheer. 1, 2, 3. Happy Global Dignity Day. Amazing. You all sound great and ready to celebrate this beautiful day of dignity and kindness. And with that, I will pass it over to Giovanna to kick off our celebration today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Olivia. And thank you all for being here. Happy Global Dignity Day. Woo! All right. We are all here today celebrating Global Dignity Day with 1 million students in 80 countries around the world. Dignity means that we recognize and respect the inherent value in ourselves and in others. And it means that we want to be happy and that we want others to be happy too, regardless of who they are, what they look like, or where they live. I'm Giovanna, one of your hosts today. And as I mentioned before, while I normally live in Ottawa, Canada, today I am in Dharamshala, India, launching a global love revolution. And so before I continue, it's now my pleasure to introduce you to Megan Kamanda, Anishinaabe Ikwe, Indigenous Community Liaison from Kitigan-Zibi, Anishinaabe, and Odeshkin Tuski, a youth from Kitigan-Zibi, Anishinaabe in Canada, who will kick off today's Global Dignity Day event with a prayer and a land acknowledgement. Megan and Odeshkin, off to you.
Thank you so much, Giovanna, and happy Global Dignity Day, everybody. Miigwech, and thank you to the Global Dignity team for this opportunity. I'm beyond grateful and humbled to be part of this historic event and to be representing Indigenous peoples from Turtle Island. I'm joining you from my home community of Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe, the ancestral territory of the Anishinaabe Nation. I encourage you all to take a moment to reflect on the territory on which you occupy and how you can give back to Indigenous communities whose ancestors cared for them. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce you to a very respected community member and future leader, Odeshkin Tuski, who also happens to be my oldest son. Not that I'm bragging, but maybe a little bit. Today he'll be opening up the event with a prayer of thanksgiving in our traditional language, Anishinaabe Moen. Miigwech, over to you, Odeshkin.
Hello, my name is Odeshkin Tuski. I'm from Kitigan-Zibi and Rapid Lake. I'm here today to do a prayer and to thank you all from around the world. Magashish kakina onjek bijayag omanogum. Migoch wiada kijimanado onjeka kanake go gabi jendagnogum. Migoch onje aki migoch onje kakanage go nitaugin mijashkin where gajek kayemetokuk. Kakina mishkiki kayamidium. Migoch onje kakina awesi zag kabumudejik kaneo kadejik kabumisujik kayagabumadegejik mishkiki ujik kayemajimajik. Migoch onje nebi kayaga kanaga itonwanchishing. Migoch onje nisewen kamijan kijiminobu madzian. Migoch onje shkude kamijan kijimino abujitoyan. Migoch onje yokijik kayaga kana etekishko. Jesus to be Jesus kayenagashak. Migoch onje nemishomisag nagukumisag anjeka kana nedodemak. We do kawishin kajinabuakayan. We do cow yakujig shwe nimne bujik demakujig kayewa wisnjik. Migoch onje nebumadzuin. Miakachi migoch.
Thank you and have a great day, everybody. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Megan and Odeshkin. Thank you so much. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am here in India, in Dharamshala with Global Dignity's co-founder, Pekka Himanen, whose birthday it also happens to be, launching a global love revolution with 33 amazing participants from around the world. This is connected to Global Dignity's commitment to putting dignity into action through kindness. And so moving into the formal part of our event today, I want to thank all of the wonderful Canadian steering committee members, volunteers, partners, and elected officials who have helped make today possible. Last year, 8 million people around the world were directly involved in Global Dignity's activities globally, and 50 million people got involved through those people. So Global Dignity has grown so much in the last several years, and we are truly making a global footprint. Our dignity revolution is moving at rocket speed, and you're all part of it by being here today. I'm now going to pass it over to Olivia, back to Olivia, to share an exciting new partnership announcement, which will help our movement scale even farther than ever before. Olivia, off to you.
Thank you, Giovanna. So as you all know, or are probably figuring out very quickly, Global Dignity cares a lot about kindness, because kindness is at the heart of dignity, and being kind allows us to show others that we value them and we want them to be happy. Over the last 2 years, we've been running a global kindness campaign called Unite Kindness that has collected over 3.5 million acts of kindness from around the world. Our goal is to empower people to show kindness to ourselves and to others, and to ultimately create kinder schools and communities. In that spirit, today we are delighted to announce that Global Dignity Canada is expanding Unite Kindness by entering into a collaboration with UNESCO's Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Education and Peace, who also have a kindness campaign called Kindness Matters. Kindness Matters is a campaign that aims to mobilize the world's youth to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals through transformative acts of kindness. This campaign attempts to create a positive culture of kindness in which every young person's selfless acts matter. Seeing the similarities in our work, Global Dignity Canada and UNESCO MGIEP have decided to collaborate to spread kindness and collect kindness stories for self, others, and nature around the world. As of today, you'll be able to see all of the Unite Kindness acts of kindness on the Kindness Matters website, and all of the acts of kindness will be shared in their kindness counter. This counter is a tool to show how kindness can make a difference to the SDGs and can be a tool to bring positive and sustainable changes. Moving forward, every month, Global Dignity Canada will send the top acts of kindness to the Kindness Matters team, and they will write a blog post and help raise awareness about both of our campaigns. Today, we're asking for your help to make the world kinder and more full of dignity. Please share your acts of kindness on social media using the hashtags #KindnessMatters and #UniteKindness, and watch as our kindness impacts increase. And with that, I will pass it back over to Giovanna.
Amazing. This is such exciting news, and we are so happy to be with all of you here today, you kindness champions from all around the world, part of the dignity revolution, transforming the world through kindness and love and compassion and dignity. So amazing. Okay, so I am now super excited to pass the microphone, because I have an invisible one here, over to Terry Godwald, who is Global Dignity Canada's event chair from the Centre for Global Education, to introduce the schools and classrooms celebrating with us today from around the world. Terry, are you excited?
My goodness, I don't think I could be any more excited than I possibly am. We have 33 schools that have signed up from every continent on the earth to either watch this via YouTube, to join us here with us today. I wish I'll call them out, but I'm just going to invite 4 of them to give us but we have joining us, and also we're able to, if our technical people can make sure that everybody is muted. We have friends joining us from Poland. We have friends from Ankara, Turkey, from Lima, Peru, from Yadin, Nauru, from Ramallah, Palestine, from Dubai, UAE, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, from Nairobi, Kenya, from Chai, Colombia, Iowa, United States, New York, United States, and we have a whole bunch of friends joining us from almost coast to coast here in Canada as well. But what I will do is give a few of them a chance to unmute your microphone and give us a good cheer from your side. So let's start with our friends down in Argentina, a global school in Buenos Aires. Let's hear from you. Can you give a big dignity cheer? There. All right, so we're going to come back to you, Buenos Aires. We're going to get you to unmute your microphone and give us a good cheer. Let's go. Let's hop up here to Canada. Annunciation Catholic. I'll even let you know a bit of an order. All right, so we're going to hear first from our friends in Buenos Aires, then from our friends in Annunciation Catholic Elementary, then from our friends in Gymnasium Los Cabos, and then we'll have one more joining us from some students from a homeschool from Treaty 7 who are joining us as well. So let's go first to our friends at Annunciation. Let's hear from you. Go ahead, Annunciation. We're cheering in spirit. Okay. And our friends in Gymnasium Los Cabos. Yay! All right. And let's head on down to our friends, Noah and Xavi from Treaty 7. Woo! Okay, so friends, we're going to head on down. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce our first 2022 Global Dignity Day role model, Amy Mapara, Coordinator of Operations and Youth Engagement for the Canadian Red Cross, to share her story. Amy has been a dedicated volunteer with the Canadian Red Cross for the past 20 years and currently works with the organization to implement the overall strategies of the Canadian Red Cross and youth engagement. Previous to her current role, Amy worked with several programs, including humanitarian issues promotion and the malaria program. As a volunteer for the organization, she has held several leadership positions, including regional council member and member of the National Youth. Over to you. And Amy, if you're able to unmute your microphone, we had a little bit of a challenge with unmuting our microphones there as we went to a couple of our schools.
No problem. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, Amy. Good to go.
Perfect. So thank you for that lovely introduction. Hello, friends and honored guests. I am lucky to be joining you today from the unceded land of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people, also known as Ottawa, Canada. My name is Amy, and I'm the head of youth engagement at the Canadian Red Cross. And I don't think youth are the future, but rather I think youth are the here and the now. Young people are the most educated, connected, diverse generation this globe has ever seen. They are changing our communities, challenging the status quo, and taking the lead in building a better, fairer, and more sustainable future. At the Red Cross, we believe in the strength of young people and their power to create positive change. The Red Cross specializes in disaster relief, and when young people prepare for disasters at home, such as droughts, floods, extreme weather, with their families, research shows that those communities are safer and more resilient. Currently, there are 50 million young people facing climate disasters right now around the world. I started my volunteer career with the organization when I was just 9 years old. It started with my mom, who was already a volunteer with the organization, and I decided I wanted to also be a volunteer. And so she connected me with the volunteer team in the Ottawa area, and they gave me the best job. I got the job of stamping official Red Cross titles on documents. I thought I was the most important person at the Red Cross, and thus began a 31-year journey and career to where I am today, leading the reimagination of youth engagement at the organization I love. Sorry. As I was saying, I'm leading the youth engagement at the organization I love and being what I like to call a bridge builder. You might say, why do you call yourself a bridge builder? Well, it takes after one of my favorite poems, and if you'll allow me a moment, I will walk you through that poem. So the poem is entitled The Bridge Builder. An old man walking alone on a highway came at the evening cold and gray to a river that was vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a scary stream. The scary stream had no fears for him, but when he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again must pass this way. You've crossed the scary river, vast and deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at the evening tide? The bridge builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him. And so I leave you with that, and I urge and I encourage you all to think about what you've learned today during Global Dignity Day, and think about how you can be a bridge builder in your community. Will you join the Red Cross in your country? The future is yours today. Thank you.
Amy, thank you so very much for sharing, and thank you for sharing that poetry. There's ways that the arts touch us in ways that that only they can do. So, and we have a privilege to hear some other artistic expressions of dignity as we go through today as well. So we're looking forward to some of those as well. But thank you, Amy, for sharing. We now are very excited to introduce our second 2022 role model, John Collins, Chief Development Officer from Hope Air, to share his dignity story. John Collins is the Chief Development Officer of Hope Air, a national charity providing Canadians in financial need with flights and accommodations to access medical care far from their homes. In this position, John oversees a diverse and dedicated group of Hope Air stakeholders, donors, volunteers, and partners that passionately support Hope Air and the work that they do. John, over to you.
Awesome, Terry. Thanks for that introduction, and thanks for having me today. I am John, and I'm with Hope Air, and I'll tell you a little bit about that, but I'll start with saying, when I was asked to talk to everyone today, I had a hard time deciding what I was going to speak about. And if I'm being really honest, I had a hard time deciding what dignity even was. So I spent a little bit of time thinking about what I used to think it was. When I was finishing high school, dignity to me meant being respected, doing something or being someone that people looked up to. So when I was looking for a job, that's what I set out to do, not to make a difference, not to lead a love revolution like Giovanna, which sounds really exciting, but just to be someone that people wanted to be or looked up to. And in my small town in Nova Scotia, that meant wearing a suit to work, having a business card that I could hand out, and looking the part. So I started as a real estate agent, and that didn't last very long. First, I just wasn't very good at it. And second, I learned a lot about myself and the nature of relationships. I was really good working with people, so I thought I'd be good at selling houses to people. But I realized quickly that that wasn't the type of relationship that really worked for me, or the relationship that I valued. What I valued was trying to help, showing kindness and focusing on happiness. And if I could, leaving each interaction with the person just feeling a little bit better than where we started. Most of all, what I learned is what mattered is how I felt about myself and the relationship, and not who people felt I was. And I guess that's how I now understand dignity. It's carrying myself in a way that I can be proud of who I am, what I'm doing, and how I've handled things, and focusing on kindness and happiness and respect for other people. So with that mindset, my next career was in charity. If I'm being honest about that, in many ways, it's still just a job. But when I think about the work that I'm doing, I have a lot of respect for myself, because I know my work is helping people and I'm trying to make a difference. When I was 14 in that small town in Nova Scotia, we didn't have a lot of money. And my mom had to travel 3 hours every week for cancer treatment. Another charity, the Cancer Society, ran a free bus service that would take her back and forth, all run by volunteers, getting her to her treatment. And now, as we mentioned, I work at Hope Air, and that's really what we do. We help people who have to travel long distances to medical care get there without having to worry about how they're going to pay for it. One of those people is Allie. She's in the audience online today, and she shared a video with me. Her words are going to focus on compassion, self-esteem, and how a little bit of help in one area can support someone in many different ways. And they also show that she knows a lot more about dignity as a young woman than I did as a young man. So let me just bring her up on screen.
Hello, my name is Allie. I'm 16 years old and I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old with a brain tumor. I live in a small town in Northern Ontario. Although living in a small town definitely has its advantages, it also means a lack in medical specialists. For us, this meant that we had to travel to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto for treatment and follow-up care. Traveling by car isn't that bad, but when you're sick, it's horrible. When I think back to the beginning, I remember going to the hospital a lot and being sick a lot, but I also remember flying a lot. I can't imagine what it would have been like if Hope Air didn't exist. The flights to Toronto were quick, and most importantly, they were enjoyable. We did fly a few commercial flights to Toronto, but we were lucky enough to use the volunteer pilot program quite often. The pilots were able to pick us up at the Earlton Airport, which is only a 20-minute drive from our house. The pilots who flew us were amazing and so compassionate with me and my parents. They truly treated us like royalty. At least that's how I felt. We got quite close to a few of the pilots who flew us often over the years. We will never forget Jeff, who made me laugh and planted the seed for my dad to become a pilot himself. Being able to fly for our appointments also meant I didn't have to miss as much school, which was great for my self-esteem. I was one of those kids who loved school and aimed for excellent grades, so being able to keep up with the other kids in my class meant a lot to me. A few years ago, after almost 5 years off treatment, we noticed my tumor started to grow again and I needed to get back on treatment. We had to travel to Toronto every month for 18 months through the COVID-19 pandemic. Not being able to fly during this time was a bummer, and we ended up driving. Now that things are somewhat back to normal, I'm looking forward to flying with Hope Air again very soon. Thank you.
So thanks, Allie. Just to close, imagine you were her and you were diagnosed with cancer or with another serious issue that affected your movement or any condition that might have a stigma or another reaction from people with it. And that diagnosis is hard enough, and sometimes the reaction of your peers is even harder. At Hope Air, we make it so that the family doesn't have to host a GoFundMe or ask for money or sell their house just to travel to access their universal health care that we all take pride in here in Canada. We save them a public challenge on top of a personal issue, and I hope that we provide families with a little dignity at an otherwise challenging time. It's work I'm proud of, and it's a career that I think is dignified. Thanks again for having me, and again, Allie, for sharing your voice.
John, thank you so much for sharing. And that is, it is exciting to be able to have a career in which you can really make such a difference. And I think of all these young people and the days that they have. And as we start to talk about dignity together, that it can be about what you're going to do for the rest of your life. But as is for you right now, John, it's what you do every day. And I'm hoping, and I'm so looking forward to hearing the stories of these young people as they come back after our breakout time together, and they have a chance to share what they are doing every day to share dignity, to grow dignity, and to live lives of dignity. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to split off into our groups, and everyone's going to have a chance to talk to each other. And there's going to be 3 questions you're going to talk about together. So the first question is, what does dignity mean to you? All right. The second question is, what acts of kindness make you feel accepted? And then the third question is, what acts of kindness can you offer to make others feel more accepted? So once again, what does dignity mean to you? What acts of kindness make you feel accepted? And what acts of kindness can you offer to make others feel accepted? And then when we come back together, we're going to come back together in 10 minutes. Actually, we're going to give you 13 minutes, all right, all the way until 15 minutes before the top of the hour. We're going to let you talk together, and then you're going to share what you're going to do in your groups. All right, so I'm going to invite my friends to do the breakout now, and then we'll come back together at 15 minutes before the top of the hour. Perfect. Everybody is being split off here, going as you are to the different rooms that you're in. We're going to have a few of our friends who are going to stay here with us, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion together. Great. Now, at the end of this, I would like you to keep in mind that we would like one of you to share a question that has really meant something to you. All right. And so let's see, we're going to go. So as you heard at the very beginning, my name is Terry, and I live in St. Albert in Alberta, Canada. Can we go around? Let's go first to our friends in St. Richards. Hello, St. Richards. Wow, so good. St. Richards, it's so good to have you here. Okay, let's see who else we have ready to share. Joining us from Argentina, our friends, so Ampora, would you like to unmute your microphone? Or we also have Juan Bautista, who will also, would you be willing to unmute your microphone so we can see and hear you as well? All right, so our Argentinian friends, we are not hearing you. Okay, and let's go across now to Saint Angela. Hello, Saint Angela. Hello, Saint Angela. Would you like to unmute your microphone? Yeah, it's a little tricky sometimes. All right. And we have some, okay, go ahead, Saint Angela.
Okay, it worked. Can we say hello?
So great to have you here, Saint Angela. All right. So I'm aware, I was just being told actually that our friends in Argentina are in a different breakout. So they just need to accept that breakout. So let's get started and talk a little bit. We have some other people who are here as well that you'll be able to see. Hello, Fabian.
Hi. Sorry, I was supposed to be in room 2, but yeah, I cannot access actually.
Okay, well, you can hang out with us. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, thanks.
Beautiful. Okay, and anybody else, if you have your screen turned off, I would assume that means that you're just happy to listen as we share what it means, dignity means to us. So let's get right into that first question. We don't have, oh, hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hello, sir, and you are joining us from Argentina?
Yes, I am Argentina.
Oh, brilliant. All right, Ben. Well, we're looking to hear from you. So let's get started. St. Richards, we're going to get you because we only have 9 minutes. That's not a lot of time. So we got to go quick. Let's go ahead first to our friends at St. Richards. Can you tell us, what does dignity mean to you?
Okay, Mahalia, what do you think dignity means to us? So respect and kindness to yourself and others. Does anyone else have something to say for dignity? So I think the consensus is respect and kindness to ourselves and others.
Excellent. And I really appreciate how part of showing dignity, we often think of, oh, that's something that I do for somebody else, but it's also something that we do for ourselves. And so having that respect for ourselves and for others, very well put. Thank you, St. Richards. First off, I would like to give you a little clap because you were the first ones to share, and that takes a lot of courage. Well done, St. Richards. Good work. Okay, and now my friends at St. Angela, I noticed that your camera was turned off. Was that because you just want to listen for the rest of our time, or do you also like to share? Okay. Oh, we do. Shares. Go ahead.
Okay, we can share. We have being nice, helpful, and respectful.
Be nice, helpful, and respectful. Now, I noticed that there's an extra word that you added in there in terms of being helpful. What would be an example? And this kind of gets into our second questions. What acts of kindness makes you feel accepted? Because being helpful is an action, right? So that is an action that we do. Can you tell me what acts, but rather than what acts you can do, can you tell me about an act of kindness that makes you feel accepted? That's a tricky. Oh, I see a hand right over there. Go ahead, St. Andrews. Angela, we'll get you to share one more time. And then to our friends in Argentina, we're going to go to you next. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Helping people when they get hurt. Helping people when they get hurt?
Yeah, that's right. If somebody falls down in the hallway for you to, or on the playground, for you to go over there and to help them, that's an excellent example. Thank you for sharing. Juan, do you want to, I'm sorry, it's not Juan, it's, oh, it looks like they may have joined a different room now. Let's go back to our friends at St. Richards. St. Richards, can you tell us what act of kindness makes you feel accepted? So our friends over at and when you do share, if you want to share your name, that would be wonderful. And then we can get to know each other's names as well. Okay, go ahead.
Chase? To be treated how you want to be treated and treat others how you want to be treated.
That sounds almost like the golden rule.
To be treated with equality and to treat others equally.
Excellent example. Great job. Okay, let's go back now to our friends at now, this is what I would like you to keep in mind. If somebody feels really excited and they would like to share a response to the question, when we go back into the larger group, we're going to have a time for all of us to share together. All right, so let's go back now to St. Angela's. We have, can somebody else share? So this is what I want you to think about. I want you to think, I think we have lots of ideas of what we can do for others. Can you give an example of what would make you feel accepted? Is there something that someone has done for you recently that makes you feel really good? Is there something you can share? So let's go back to our friends at St. Angela's. Go ahead. And then once again, if we have Juan Batista in Argentina, if you'd like to open up your screen, that would be great. And maybe I'm going to go to Fabian next because he has his screen open as well. Do you want to share something that makes you feel accepted? But before we do that, let's go to St. Angela. Go ahead. Oh, come right up to the camera. That's awesome. I would love to see you.
Okay, tell them your name and then tell them what your idea is. Stop right there. Yep. Hi, my name is?
Hi, my name is Natanel, and my answer is inviting them.
So if somebody invites him to something, he feels, that makes him feel good and kind.
That is such a great example. So maybe if you see someone who is on the playground all by themselves, and sometimes we even have nice little chairs or benches at playgrounds where people can sit if they're feeling that they'd like to be invited. But for you to not just think about the fun you're having with your friends, but to find an opportunity to invite someone to join you, such a great example. Fabian, what about you? What's something that makes you feel accepted?
I feel like when I remember at school, I think it would be to not let anyone to be alone. Like, for example, if you see someone alone, to go check on them and to see if they want to discuss, they want to share a meal with you. Like it's something nice and that everyone can do every day. And I feel it's participating to the well-being of everyone.
That's such a great example. I remember those times when I was in elementary. I spent a lot of time by myself, and I remember how it made me feel. And so to be invited was so important. So we have a few examples of that. Okay, friends, we are done. We only have 3 minutes left. Ooh, it's gone so quickly. I would like you to talk about what act of kindness can you offer to make others feel accepted. So we've talked about inviting. So far, we've had a couple of people who've talked about how it's important to invite. Are there other examples that we have? So let's go back now to our friends at St. Richard's. I notice also that we have Martina, Bianca, and Francesca in Argentina. I really appreciate, I know that English may not be your first language. That makes it harder to share. And so, but if you would like to share as well, I would love to hear from you. So the question is, what act of kindness can you offer to make others feel accepted? And if you'd like to share, I'll just let you turn on your video, and that will be a way of you telling me that you would like to share. Okay. So back to St. Richard's. Can you go ahead and tell something that you can offer to make others accepted?
Chase, do you want to say that again? So inviting people to play with you.
Oh, Argentina, Martina, Bianca, and Francesca, we'll go to you next. Okay, first we're going to hear from our friends in St. Richard's. Go ahead. St. Richard's, something that you can do. Go ahead.
So Chase said inviting them to play with you or being inclusive when you're at recess.
Such a great example. Yeah, and you know what? I bet you have some recess that's going to happen today. And so I bet if I were to go to St. Richard's School, I wouldn't see one kid playing by themselves, unless they wanted to be by themselves. That's also okay. Sometimes we do want to be by ourselves. Okay, great example of something you can do at recess. I would love to come and see that in your school today. Okay, to our friends in Argentina, Martina, Bianca, and Francesca, I noticed you unmuted your microphone. Did you want to share something that you could do? Okay. Well, we're just so happy that you're here. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Consider their opinions when required to make decisions that affect them.
Yeah. So can you just say that one more time? Consider their opinions. Was that what you said? I want to make sure I understood.
Consider their opinion when required to make decisions that may affect them.
I think that is so insightful. It's so important. Sometimes we have people who are like really good talkers, and then they talk, but they don't. Sometimes you need to find those people who maybe aren't talking and make sure that you listen to them. So very important. Thank you so much for sharing, Martina, Bianca, and Francesca, and thank you for the courage it took for you to turn on a microphone and share in a language that's not your first language. It's very courageous. Thank you for that. Okay, we're going to go. Oh my goodness, we're out of time. So I am going to ask, I don't know if we're going to have, we won't have time for everybody to be able to share, but if we have one of our schools that's able to share when we come back together, can we get the teacher to send me a note in the chat? So once again, if you would like to share with the larger groups that are going to come, could you send me a note in the chat, and then I will know that you are ready to share. Look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so glad to see you all again. How are the discussions on your side, Olivia and Giovanna?
We had a fabulous discussion. I cannot wait for the sharing to come from our discussion, and it just, I think, filled all of us with ideas of how we can continue spreading dignity and kindness for the rest of the day and the rest of the year and always, every day.
Oh, isn't that great? And you know what? I heard examples of what young people are going to do today on the playground when they go out in terms of being included. I heard amazing example. Oh, you know what? I don't want to say too much because they may share them as we come back together now. So we're going to do exactly that. I can see some people who've written in the chat window that they are ready to share. The first group that I see here is grade 4 from Edmonton. We can share. So what I would like you to do, this is the order right now so far. We're going to go from grade 4 in Edmonton, and then Ahmed Ali is going to share, and then St. Richard's is going to share as well. So, and then maybe we will also, and then, I need to take that back. So Joel, who led group 1, he is going to tell us who's going to share from his group. And then Giovanna is going to share who's going to share from group 2, and Tara from group 3, and Olivia from group 4. And I'll share who's going to share from our group at the very end. So Joel, we're going to pass the microphone to you and let us know who it is from your group who's going to share.
Thank you very much, Terry, and for everybody that joined in the breakout rooms. I would love to invite Tiago from Argentina to share with all of us what he just shared in our group about what dignity and kindness means to him. Tiago? You'll have to unmute.
Yes, yes, sorry. For me, kindness, it's like if you like to be treated of one way, you should treat the people like you like to be treated, and
That's a great example.
Thank you.
Well done. Let's have a round of applause for Tiago. That took a lot of courage, Tiago. You were first in the whole world. Great job. Well done. Thank you for doing that. And I do think that that is such a brilliant way to think about it. How would we like to be treated and see other people in the same way? Thank you. So from group 2, Giovanna, who is it who's sharing from your group?
Okay, so we're going to, so our group is actually a student from the grade 4 Edmonton group. I think we need that student to come forward because they were going to select a student as we were coming back to the room.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead, Lyndon.
Helping people and being kind and greeting people into the school or your neighborhood.
Greeting people into the school. So really looking if you have somebody who's maybe new to your school or somebody who hasn't been there before, making sure that they, at that time when they're really nervous to go to a new school, are being greeted and welcomed. That is such a great example. That's so important. Well done. Let's have another round of applause. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, we're going to go to group number 3. And Tara, who is it from your group who's going to share?
Terry, we had such a fantastic session that talked about showing up and meeting people. And I really want to ask Emmett to come in and share something beautiful that he gave us all. And Emmett, if you speak for the rest of the group, it'll be even cooler. All yours, my friend.
Thank you. So to me, dignity is like treating people how you'd like to be treated, sticking to your morals, that's dignity to yourself, sticking to your principles, also dignity to yourself, being nice to people you don't know, just overall being nice.
Brilliant. And sticking to your morals, sticking to things that you believe are correct. Sometimes it's hard. And sometimes that's
it is, yes. Sometimes it can be.
Yeah, and it takes courage to do that. Thank you for sharing. That is such a, there's so much truth in what you shared. Let's have a round of applause for him. And great job. Thank you for sharing. Even in those times when things are hard, to stick to your morals. Well said. All right, now in group number 4, Olivia, over to you.
Wonderful. So we were chatting with St. Angela's School, the grade 4s there. Is there someone from St. Angela's that is able to share, or perhaps your teacher can share on your behalf of our discussion? We were so engrossed in our discussion, we didn't pick a sharer.
Hi, everybody. This is St. Angela, grade 4. We had lots to add to our discussion. And I guess we'll kind of sum it up together. But to us, dignity means respecting other people, and also really what they think, what they believe in, and ways that we help people feel accepted, or ways that we feel accepted is when we get invited to do things, maybe invited to join a group, and also even just listening to other people helps us feel accepted and feel really part of being respected and helps our dignity. So those are some key things that we talked about here in grade 4, St. Angela, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So thanks for listening.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. It really reminds me of what our friends Martina, Bianca, and Francesca said in terms of listening and making sure when we're making decisions that everybody is included, not just those people who are loudest, but sometimes making a special attention to those who are not being heard, that they have their opinions heard as well. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so interesting to see that it doesn't matter where we are in the world, we believe many of the same things. All right, so I am going, and I am just like you, Olivia, that we just had such a great discussion that we did not select one person to share. So I am going to invite those of our friends who are listed at St. Richard's, Canada. So if you would like to have someone come up right up to the microphone, if they may, and let us know who they are. And this is going to be our last. And I know there are so many wonderful things that people could be sharing. We just don't have time for everybody today. We could spend the whole day talking about this. But I'll pass the microphone over to St. Richard's, Canada, and we will let you share from there. St. Richard's?
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So the person who spoke wanted to remain anonymous, but we talked a lot about today, making sure we show respect to ourselves and to others. And by showing that respect, by inviting people at recess to play with us, and making sure that if we see people that are left out, to give them an opening so that they can come join and feel included.
So brilliant. Making sure that they feel that that sense of inclusion, that they can be in there as well. Thank you all so much for sharing. This is such important work, and this is something that we don't. Yeah, that's a round of applause. Absolutely. Thank you, Joel, for that reminder. Round of applause for everyone for sharing. Great work. So well done. All right, friends, I am so excited for you. I am going to introduce a friend of mine. Her name is Tara Baswani, and she is a musician as well as a fabulous person like all of you are. And she is going to perform for us today. She's an internationally acclaimed creator, a UN SDGs accelerator, an environmentalist, co-founder of Lembas Works, and member of Global Dignity International Council of Advisors. Tara, was that not inspiring what you heard today?
My heart is filled and I'm smiling away, and I can't wait to hear more from everyone, Terry.
Amen. And would you inspire us some more with some music that you have created, Tara?
With the greatest of pleasure, my friend. And I'm looking forward to everybody's voices being part of this. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
We are ready for you to go.
All right. Thanks so much, Terry. And thank you, everyone, for sharing your hearts. It's such a special global dignity, as Giovanna and Olivia and everyone said. But I wanted to share something a little bit more different with you today. If everyone's ready, give me a second and I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second, everybody. I'm hoping for a little kindness here. There we go. Okay. You're going to help me and tell me if you can actually hear this, if you can actually hear some music. If you hear music, give me an eye.
Yes.
Can everyone hear?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
No, we can't hear it over here at St. Angela.
It's just a little. I think it's gonna get louder here.
It may get louder. So there's something I wanted to share with all of us today. Did you know that in each of our bodies, we have 84 minerals, 24 elements, 74 liters of water, and science tells us that we are all made from the same earth, we live under the same sky, we come from the same stars and supernovas. And we heard that while each of us is so unique and magical in our own ways, there's something very special that connects us. And that is, my friends, that we are nature. We are all nature. One planet, and within it, just us. Some of our friends who spoke today talked about inclusion and being able to speak one common language. And I wanted to share a very special word with us called hum. In the country that I was born in India, in Hindi, the word hum means us. But hum is also a very magical sound. For example, if you don't know the words to a song, all you gotta do is maybe something like hum, 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 hum. And suddenly, you don't have to know the words of different languages. You can still be your unique self, you can be connected, and you can sing with everyone. So I wanted to start writing a song for our Global Dignity family, where we can all write notes in the chat, where we can send messages of love, to unite kindness for our planet. Would you like to join in? Write it in the chat if you feel yes. And if you're ready, then I'll start sharing with us little ways in how we can do this. I see a lot of yeses coming in. How many of us feel deep, deep, deep love for our planet? And do we want to be a hum? Then let's go. Hum, 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 hum. Be my friend, and I'll be yours as we walk into this dance of time. We could echo each other's dreams, our thoughts, our fears, and we'd light together. We'd light the night. We can make the world we want if we sing with hearts of love. We can reach for the stars and the moon. We can reach for the stars and the moon. Hum, hum, hum. The wind grows loud as we walk these clouds, finding traces in each other's voices. With every echo, with every song that we sing, through every shout, through every cry, together, connected, we will be heard. We can make the world we want with with every song in our hearts with love. We can reach for the stars and the moon. We can reach for the stars and the moon. So if you're feeling ready, would you want to sing with me? And if you want to sing with me, do you want to say hum? If you're feeling ready, I'm gonna drop in. And I'm gonna wait for you to unblock your mics and come in and go hum. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Happy Global Dignity Day, everyone. From me to you to all of us, a very big hum.
Thank you so much, Tara. That was so beautiful. Hum, which is Hindi. I learned this new word, this new today. Hindi means us, right? And here we all together are singing together in unison. So beautiful. Thank you for the beautiful song and the beautiful message. Friends, our time has come to a close.